What's uploading right now?
What's what?
It just up. What's uploading? Oh, it's just constantly uploading.
It's just constantly
It's
uploading.
recording right now. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
well, let's begin.
Which post do you want to start with?
Well,
I've got.
let's just record a discussion for 30 minutes.
I mean, that's kind of the point. That's
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
started recording right when we got out of the gate.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not stuck on any specific recording. Um,
Um, well, we can talk about this recent post that just has a new level of unhinged comments. And like, as you know, I usually get a lot of unhinged people coming out of the woodwork with my rage bait LinkedIn posts, which, I can't lie. It's straight up rage bait. If you're gonna start a post off with pardon my rant or hot take, like, you're gonna be prepared for people to come out and challenge you on it.
okay, before we even jump into that, I'd love to chat about that because I feel like it's like a default. It's just a default framework for communicating. It's not like you're specifically trying to. I wouldn't even call that stuff rage bait. I just think that there is a default framework for posting stuff that gets attention, and yeah, there's just a
Oh,
format.
it's just the algorithm. It's
Yeah,
like
it's that and
that's what
attention.
works.
It's like hard to get attention. But
Yeah.
you know what I've noticed recently is like um what I don't like about it is that I feel like everyone's approach on LinkedIn is the same. So like you just see that framework literally everywhere now. Um, so I think it's going to evolve to like a new style of posting because eventually everything's going to be the
The same.
same. Yeah, and then we're going to
Yeah.
have another problem. So it's either going to get worse or or better.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to evolve like every social media platform, and whatever moves the algorithm makes, people are going to have to follow. Like for a time, there was a lot more AI slop, and I'm sure there is AI slop still. It's
Yes.
just maybe gotten incrementally better.
No, I think it's all
But
AI slop. I think that's why there's so much of it. People are just taking that framework and then putting it into a chat GPT or something and saying just like, here's what I want to say, just copy this framework.
yeah, but then you have real humans copying the framework, and then what are we left with, right?
Uh Confused by that comment. I think people are just feeding
You think
the same
everyone's just
format.
legitimately putting everything through
Well,
ChatGPT to get the same format?
have you seen like how much of it is following the exact same framework?
Yeah,
Especially
but
like
I think
an
that's
uptake in the
one
last
part,
like couple weeks.
but that's going to be one part AI, and it's also just going to be one part people just following a format. Like
Yeah,
if it works,
yeah.
right? That's my point is like how far does something go before like people just start following the AI? It's just an echo chamber of content production.
I actually don't
If you
think it's
put it in
even.
and it works,
Yeah.
it's going to work. If
I
you
actually
get
don't
AI to
even
write
think
it,
it's that effective. I feel like the posts that I see, the content that I see, that's people writing. Yeah, anyways, this is a tangent, but I feel like there's a
no, but
lot
like
better
what
quality out there.
yeah, there's definitely quality out there. There's also quantity. Like you're always competing for
Yes.
eyes on things. But
Um.
sometimes the quality gets pushed below the surface by the rest of everything else. What are you
Fully,
supposed to do there?
fully.
These platforms, you have to remember we're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram. Like the algorithm prioritizes engagement. If your content is not engaging, it doesn't matter the quality or not. It's like, does it solve LinkedIn's problem of engagement?
Yeah.
Yes, great. They will put it through, they'll get it in front of people. If it doesn't solve LinkedIn's problem, then what is it,
Yeah.
right?
And quality engagement are two different things.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by, like, you wake up every morning and you're literally just, like, bowing down to the algorithm. And that algorithm is either like, we can think of it as technically what LinkedIn has implemented, but you can also just think of it as the algorithm of people just repeating the same format and the same
Hmm.
post because that is what they see. That is the engagement.
Um.
So, I think it's both machine and human.
Related to AI, an interesting take by AWS CEO. It's a good article, actually. You should check it out. But he literally came out saying that Swapping out junior devs for AI is the dumbest idea that he's ever heard. And it's a really good article. It's like promoting a lot of the opposite reasons why you would maybe, argue that AI would be replacing some low and mid tier dev capability. And it's pretty interesting.
Oh, what's the
Um,
argument?
there's a couple things. There's a couple good quotes out of it. I'll just pull it up. Um, I was at a leadership group, and people were telling me they're like that with AI we can replace all of our junior people in our company. I was like, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, it is.
But it's
It's
interesting,
completely
like in
ridiculous.
that circle of network that he's in, there obviously is a movement of people saying they are trying or like planning on replacing all of their junior people within the company with AI.
Yeah.
His argument's basically like they're the least expensive employees you have. They're the most likely to lean into AI tools. Um, and how's that going to work when you go 10 years in the future and you have no one that has built or learned anything?
Yeah, all valid
And then
arguments.
also just like the the education pipeline. So like, how are you ever going to have the senior people within your organization if you're getting rid of all juniors? It's kind of interesting. What else was interesting? I think for a while, the last year or two, people have been excited about bragging about the number of lines of code that have been written by AI. It's a silly metric. I don't like it. It might also be bad code, by the way. It's good.
Yeah, so his take is basically that it's ridiculous to fire all the juniors because you're going to get rid of the people that are going to be seniors eventually. You get rid of the pathways to doing that. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Um, yeah, they're your talent pipeline, basically. They learn, they build, they grow into senior devs who solve complex problems AI can't touch, remove them, and you start the future of engineering within your organization. And yeah, I mean, his the whole thing is like, why would you do that when you could just use AI incorporated into someone's roles to help speed things up versus just replacing them completely?
Which is what they're doing. Like that's remember that I don't remember the name of the product, but it was this guy who created a product to help intro devs cheat on the development
Yeah,
test,
yeah.
right?
I
It
do
was
remember
like
that.
a screen overlay that allowed them to cheat during the test. And at that point, it's like, what's the point of the test, right? So everyone was mad. He lost, I think he was, what was it, Columbia? I can't remember what university, but they kicked him out of university. It was all comedy in the end. He went off to
Hmm.
make a company selling the product, making a ton of cash. And now companies are talking about abandoning that test altogether and helping to train people on how they're using AI in their roles, which makes a lot more sense. And like people are already using these at junior roles. If they're not, I mean, so be it. But I think people are already using it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think like there's a lot of opinion, but it's it's hard to, as much as you could kind of like theorize about what the future looks like, it's actually hard to imagine what things are going to be like in 10, 20 years. It seems to be like there's a lot of people on both sides of the fences in terms of like how much AI is going to basically take over development capabilities. Pretty interesting. I mean, it's obviously very polarizing because the just a couple of the posts that you did recently just absolutely caused some chaos on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Well, the last one, I mean,
It
it's a
came,
good segue because the last hot take post I had was about AI and it being the first thing that you do while starting a task. So the exact post was naturally hot take incoming, right? Every task you start should start with AI. And I think that's as far as most people read. I don't think they read the whole post because the comments were all over the map. But it was just that if you're going to start a task, see what AI can and cannot do with that task first. That was the point, like the idea behind the post. And it was actually borrowed from the VP of tech at Duolingo. She's like, just start every task with AI
mm,
because we don't know what it can and can't do at this point. So let's figure it out. Let's learn together. And I really like that idea because you can't try to poke holes in an argument about AI if you haven't tried it for something.
Hmm.
I get
Hmm.
really annoyed by all of the naysayers who are like, no, 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 like this is the death of X, Y, Z. It's like, well, have you tried it? Like, have you actually put the effort in? Show me the receipts. Uh, and unfortunately, the argument devolved into just chaos. But my point was like, I'm not saying that if AI can do your job, you shouldn't have a job. I'm just saying that it can be a multiplier and you should figure out what it multiplies versus what it doesn't. But I don't think everyone got
Is
to
this your
those.
PSA so that people can watch your
This
public apology?
this is my PSA. Yeah, yeah. It was. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want me to cherry pick some of the?
No, 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 no. Probably not. No, then you'll actually need to do a PSA.
No, there were
Um,
some good comments though. I did have some guy, which I ended up connecting with after. It was really interesting because I've had this anxiety for a long time about my writing style being taken up as AI because we write proposals as well. And when we write proposals, it's dry. My writing style, I would say it lacks a lot of flourish. Uh, so I've had this fear of people thinking it's AI, or putting it into an AI detector
and
and
then
it coming back as AI, which, funny enough, I did try that. I put my own writing into an AI detector and it said I was AI. And then I took the same text and I put it into a tool called Humanize AI
mhm.
to humanize it. And it came back and it was like, this isn't AI. I was like, this is bullshit. I literally, like, AI like totally dodged it, but it caught me, like the primary author. So now that you have that context, there's this guy in the comments, and every time I would comment at him, he's like, "Oh, you did it again," like just implying that I was AI writing all of these comments, right? So I finally just
Wait,
connected
okay.
with him over.
How? Explain that again. How, he's just called say he's just flagging and saying you did it
Every
again.
time I would comment, he was like, "Oh, you did it again, eh?" As in, like, "Oh, you used AI to write this next comment."
This guy's hilarious.
So it was funny. But I was like, this guy's like kind of frustrating. He was probably the only one out of all these comments that actually got me because he was like, "Oh, are you just mad that I called you out?" And I was like, "No, like definitely not." So I DM'd him and we did have a really good conversation. But when I thought he was calling me out because I was using M dashes. If you know anything
Mm,
about the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
controversy around
yeah.
M dashes these days, I figured that was going to get me eventually because I refuse to not use M dashes. I love them; they're great, and I thought that's what it was. But he told me over DMs the the giveaway that he thought was because I was actually too agreeable to him while he's like attacking me. He's like, "Do you know how absurd that is for you to be like, valid point, person who's attacking my post?" I was like,
The internet has just become like
"That's
the
weird."
discourse on the internet has just become such a like screaming arena of screaming people that it's funny to hear that someone's like shocked by just having a rational discussion. But I guess that's happening all
Yeah,
over the place.
no, it is. And I get it. Like Duolingo, it was a complicated post. There's a lot of layers to it. People were calling out the fact that I borrowed Duolingo's approach because we all know how that actually went. They were talking about replacing translators, like human translators.
Hmm.
Obviously got flack for that, but it's not like the VP of tech got flack for telling people to just start with AI. So,
Yeah, are there any like mass layoffs happening, like actually happening right now, where I guess companies are not really publishing or like or sharing that there's any layoffs that are happening specifically because of AI. But can you think of any cases
no,
where there's been like a lot of layoffs and a big part of it is AI?
I think there was that one.
It
I'd have
sounds
to
like
dig up
people are
the
talk. It
MIT
sounds like,
article.
like if you read that Amazon article, it sounds like it's a discussion that's being had. in some organizations and some circles, and I know that there's a lot of fear and a lot of um, anger towards leveraging AI because of that. But I haven't actually heard of any instances where people are being made redundant because of AI. Um, Also,
No.
I don't know how it is in the US, but it's quite difficult. Like, I wonder what the legality around laying someone off just because you're replacing their role with AI. I guess that you could do that
Yeah, I think you
without
could do that
cause
with
and
anything.
just yeah.
You could
Um,
ship the roles overseas if you want and
True.
not say
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I think there was an MIT article a bit ago that I'd have to dig up, but it was talking about how I think the company replaced all of their support staff with AI,
Hmm.
and basically, yeah, sorry. Yeah, they replaced all of their support staff with AI, and yeah, they crashed and burned. Like months later, they're calling people back. That's vaguely how I
Mm.
remember the article.
Yeah. I was just looking to see if there's any cases, and there was a study done. AI is becoming a major driver of workforce reductions with over 10,000 job cuts in the US in 2025, directly linked to automation, according to new data. Sure, it's probably happening. It's probably
Yeah,
not being disclosed that it's due to any sort of like AI replacement, but also, like you said, that seems pretty risky.
yeah, incredibly risky. There's so much I wouldn't trust it with. Yeah, and that was the point of my post too. Is like find the gaps. Like don't trust what some of these new software as a service are
Hmm.
saying they can do. Because I think there's an element of snake oil in all of this. It's a new technology. We don't know how it works. We don't know what we don't
Yeah.
know. So why would you operate at such a high stakes like point? Why would you let it take over certain things? It just seems wild to me.
Yeah.
But I think the reality, at least from the design community that I've been talking to, is it's the classic. It's not going to take our jobs. It's the people who learn how to use it well will take our jobs. So I do think there is an element of making sure that people upskill
Hmm.
and rather than just burying their head in the sand and pretending it's not going to exist, like figure out what it is and how it works with your practice because
Yeah.
it's not going away. Like it might be a bubble. It is definitely a bubble. I don't know if you've seen the recent
Yeah, I
uh
have.
it's definitely a bubble, but the same way with the dot com boom, it's like, well, when that bubble burst, we didn't lose the internet, right?
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
lose the web. Just a lot of people lost a lot of money.
Well, for reference sake, for anyone listening, what is it that you were referencing about AI being a bubble? I think I saw it too. That the article. What was it by again?
No, I was actually just listening to episode of Hard Fork.
Really? Oh, okay.
And
I saw.
they had a dinner with Sam Altman,
Mm,
uh, and it came up. Sam Altman was quoted as saying, there's people who stand to make a lot of money, and there's people who stand to lose a lot of money. It is just a house of cards.
yeah, there was some big stock movement recently that was connected to AI. I think there was a big. I can't remember what it was that I was reading. Like imminent stock crash. Yeah. Anyways, we can look that up for next time maybe. It was
Yeah,
a
yeah. But
really really interesting article that I was going to share with you.
I mean, the gist is you have investors investing in companies that then have to pay a company like ChatGPT for API access, right?
Mm,
And then you have ChatGPT paying companies like Nvidia for GPU access, but like nothing scales. People are selling things at a loss. I think it was Anthropic, like Claude, they're selling things at a loss. None of these companies are revenue positive,
yeah, yeah. It's still so
right?
early. I think it was Altman mentioned that there's the evaluations of companies in AI are insane, for his exact
Totally
words.
overinflated. Yeah.
And then basically right after that, who was it? Palantir dropped 10%, Nvidia dropped 3%, and basically all the blue chip AI stocks in the market just started tanking. That was the 23rd, so a couple days ago.
Yeah, something's
We'll
got to
see.
give. Yeah, I mean, there's no way it's not a bubble. But I mean, back to my point, it's here to stay. Like,
Hmm.
it's already provided a fair bit of value to us internally. I'd say, like, I use it
Yeah,
for
totally,
wrangling data.
totally,
Um,
totally.
like
It just helps to
I
enable so much. It's crazy for a team of our size and company of our size. It's like you just don't have the resources that larger organizations have. You don't have the red tape and the hierarchies and the approval processes that a lot of these larger companies have, and so you could just fly so much faster.
Mhm.
It's seriously amazing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely transformational for small companies like ours. Just to have access to tools like that, because it's not that AI hasn't been around for a long time. There've been different types of it, but that used to be stuff at the enterprise level. Like, remember when we were working with Accenture and Bill had that AI podcast and they wanted us to do
But
like an
yeah,
AI project?
yeah,
The AI that they were using is like only available to enterprise clients,
I forgot about
and you
that. That
needed
was
engineers to implement it.
mhm.
Like, it's completely inaccessible to teams like ours. So I think to a certain extent, this just levels the playing field a bit. It democratizes the technology. It also, I'm curious to see what non-designers and non-developers are going to build. I
Mhm.
hate the idea that they might put it into production because vibe coded apps are, they're going to be a very big problem when it comes to scalability and security. But
Do you think people are actually? Yeah, I mean, I guess there's nothing stopping someone from like vibe coding something that they want to scale up without like uh without working with any sort of devs or designers. But I feel like anything that would have funding would have a level of due diligence done.
yes, you would think.
I
But
mean, although I have seen
I
crazy
encourage
stuff
you
at the
to
startup,
look
we
up
both
the
have.
company T T for spill the tea.
Um, why does that
They had
sound
a
familiar?
huge security breach
Was this the
recently.
one? What? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, this application is interesting. Yes, okay, so T is a women-only platform designed to enhance dating safety by allowing users to background check, search red flags, and find community sourced information on potential dates. Okay, I did see an article on this. They had a breach. Um, that's nuts.
Yeah.
And so this was an like, where were you going with this? This was an app that was vibe coded and
Like,
not
not all of it, but vibe
okay.
coding was an element of some of it.
Okay,
And yeah, they just made themselves a target for other reasons. So people doxed like 72,000 women. It was madness. But
holy
yeah, they
shit.
just were not up to code.
Were they funded?
See that? I don't know.
Interesting. Whoa, five. Yeah, cool. Um, yeah, that's a big issue.
Yeah. So I mean, I think there's gonna be a bloodbath
Really?
of, well, you saw like Sam Altman's post about like the fast fashion era of SaaS is coming. All of these things, they're just like poorly built. People deploy them not knowing what it takes to maintain them. Security is a constantly ever evolving thing. Like, it's going to be crazy. But the cool thing is, like, I would love to see what amateurs make.
Hmm.
It's the non-experts that always think a little bit more creatively because they're unshackled by the constraints of the expertise, right?
Not jaded.
Like, I'm thinking, I'm thinking of like David Carson, right? When desktop publishing came around, you have
Hmm.
like David Carson, or like he's like a Sagmeister-esque kind of designer. I think he's a
Oh
precursor to
yeah. Okay.
Sagmeister. The
Yeah,
work
yeah.
is really cool. They like Raygun magazine, that whole non-design design, that
Hmm.
style is because you had like non-designers getting computers and then like fucking around with really cool stuff. So
Yeah, that's
that's
sweet.
what I'm looking forward to. I think that there's going to be some really interesting things happen. I think there's going to be some really terrible things happen if people aren't careful, but that's what I was saying earlier is we shouldn't be using it for high stakes stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, at least it'll give us a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That AWS article sounds good.
It's good. Yeah, I'll send it to you. All right. Well, why don't we call it there?
Okay. Sounds
2:34,
good.
30 minutes
Until next
ish.
time.
Perfect. All
Yeah.
right.
Next, we'll cover my Air Canada post.
Yeah, let's do it. I can't wait to hear that.
All right.
Yes.
Take it easy.
See ya.
Bye.